Bună ziua și bun găsit! Sunt Magda Axinte și vă invit la o nouă întâlnire în punctul zero. Astăzi îl vom avea invitat pe Patrick Zeigler, maestru și fondator al terapiei All Love, cu care am filmat un interviu în vechiul nostru decor din sezonul 1. După cum știți, în prezent, interviul emisiunii se filmează la librăria Floarea Vieții din Iași. Veți urmări un reportaj de prezentare a produselor și activităților ce se desfășoară în acest spațiu. Rubrica Nutriția terapeutică va aduce informații despre germenii de grâu, iar cartea săptămânii este În căutarea fericirii, scrisă de Bertrand Russell, laureat al Premiului Nobel pentru literatură. Să începem cu interviul emisiunii. Ne întâlnim în punctul zero cu Patrick Zeigler. Cei care fac terapia Reiki îl cunosc mai bine. El este fondatorul unui sistem Seichim sau All Love. Bună ziua și bun găsit! Vă rog în câteva cuvinte să vă prezentați telespectatorilor.
Oh, good. Well, it's really nice to be here in Romania. Yeah, the class that I'm teaching is well known by people that do Reiki and other forms of energy type healing. It was introduced back in 1984, and it came after an experience that I had in Egypt in the pyramids.
Ne puteți povesti puțin despre această experiență?
Well, I was fortunate enough, I was able to sneak into the pyramid one night, and I spent the night there, and I had a kind of almost like an electrical charge that came down through me, and then began working with that, and then also some other forms of healing, and eventually developed the Sekhem system. And many people who were in the Reiki community, then they liked it very much, so they used to teach it alongside it with Reiki, so that's the reason that many people in the Reiki community know about the Sekhem energy.
Cum și când a început pentru dumneavoastră căutarea de sine?
Well, actually, it was quite a young age. I was probably about 10 or 11, and I remember the very first book I bought for myself was a book on ESP. And then eventually I became interested in hypnosis and meditation and that sort of thing. And that took me over to the Middle East, where eventually, I was able to study with some very good teachers and also have the experience in the pyramid.
Interesant. Există două denumiri, Seichim și All Love. Este același lucru?
Well, Sekhem is the older style, and Sekhem is an Egyptian word referring to the energy. So the energy is called Sekhem, and through the years, as I've been working with it, it's really had more of a heart center opening. So since the big, you might say, heart center openings have been happening, I've been calling it All Love. But it is all the same energy. However, I would say a lot of the people that are studying the old style Sekhem may not be having that sort of experience in their classes because they probably are still working in the old style.
Ce fel de energie folosește Seichim-ul și All Love? Este asemănătoare cu Reiki sau este un alt tip de energie care se accesează?
Well, it's quite different, and anybody that would take a class would definitely notice the difference. One of the main things is the vibration that comes in, and it can be a very fine vibration that is actually very physical. Almost everyone that comes to the class feels it. It can get so strong in some people that it can actually knock you out of your chair, and your whole body will go into a wave-like motion as you go into you might say, the initiations for it.
Putem să numim All Love o terapie? Cum acționează și pe ce nivele?
Well, there's medically the word is probably used more for therapy. This is basically, I feel, a spiritual initiation. So I really want to keep it in the spiritual realm, and then through the spiritual awakening, then healing may occur. So where a lot of therapies focus on basically the healing, This works from the spiritual level down to the physical. And so the healing is just a result of might say, your spiritual awakening that occurs.
Povestiți-ne puțin despre experiențele oamenilor care au practicat și care vin la cursurile dumneavoastră. Ce tip de trăiri ce v-au împărtășit din trăirile lor?
Well, I think most of the people have an experience of the heart opening, where they really feel love in a way that they've never experienced it before. So what will happen is that they'll feel this connection with love, and basically the experience feels like you're connected to the whole universe, kind of like you're plugged into something. And when people have this connection, they don't feel the loneliness, and they don't feel the separateness that they have. And so it really brings a wholeness more into their life, and they begin to feel more love. Now it's interesting, the last time I was here, we do a little thing with hopes and wishes. And there's usually a lot more women that attend than men. But of the women that were there, many of them had asked to have more love in their life, and several of them, of course, asked for children. And out of that group, 4 of them found a new life partner, and 4 of them had new babies by the time I came back this year. So that was a huge, huge shift, just on the physical level. Most of them, though, will explain to me that the main thing is they just feel this connection to Source, Creator, God, whatever you want to call that, and they just feel more happy and love in their life.
Da, în momentul acela suferința cam dispare, nu?
Yes, it can. Now, one of the things, too, is that a lot of the times other feelings may come up, especially during the class. So what happens is if a person's holding on to a lot of things which cause the suffering, those things will be released. So there's a lot of, during the class, there's a lot of what I would call emotional release that can take place. It can be quite profound for people. And then once they have that experience, things begin to change in their life, so they don't continually focus on maybe negative things or things in the past that they're just holding on to. And it sort of opens up new doors for the future for them, new possibilities.
Dumneavoastră ați venit des în România. Care este receptivitatea? Cum ați simțit în România? Ceva diferit sau la fel și în celelalte țări ale lumii? Sunt mai interesați românii de astfel de experiențe sau este la fel cam peste tot?
Well, Romania was rather interesting. My very first trip to come here, I think they all had a certain expectation, and the energy was, energetically, they weren't quite as open. And what I found, though, when I came back the second time is that right after the class, that's when everything was happening for people. It's like they kind of needed to just absorb it, and then they went home, and then they had their big spiritual experience when they went home. Now when I come, it is incredible. They open up just immediately. And, you know, a lot of my classes are done in South America and Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, and there people are just so open right away. But I have to say now, I've been coming here for 5-6 years now, and people here go beyond what many other people in the rest of the world do, as far as their ability to open up. It's just absolutely amazing to see the huge shift that's taken place in Romania over the last few years. It's, and I do feel it's because, the Romanian people, they have a very, very big heart, and it's really starting to shine now.
Într-adevăr, există un foarte mare interes al românilor pentru acest gen de experiențe, dar se spune că românii sunt depresivi, triști. Dumneavoastră, cum i-ați simțit? Cum le-ați simțit energia?
Well, I know that in Romania, in many of the eastern countries, even with Russia as well, there's this big wave. It's almost like there was a repression for a while, and now the people are more open, and sometimes in Western Europe. You know, there's just like this openness to receive some of these new ideas and new thoughts, and especially connecting to the spiritual world. And the Romanians have a very strong history spiritually, you know, and that is starting to now really open up for people a lot more. And you can see it when I come here. I can feel the connection. People are much more receptive, I think, than a lot of the other countries that I go to. And I think one of the things is the generosity as well. The people here are extremely generous and very open and very respectful. A lot of times when you travel to some of the other countries, you might not feel that same respect. And it's really beautiful here as far as that goes.
În prezent, mulți din cei care practică multe terapii spirituale, sisteme inițiatice, consideră că sunt niște timpuri în schimbare. Dumneavoastră, cum le vedeți? Sunt niște timpuri în schimbare acum sau este doar o percepție?
It's incredible what's really happening right now. There is, of course, the big thing with the 12-12-12. Yes. And we took a whole group to Peru then. And I know that at least with what we're doing, amazing changes are happening. So there was definitely a big shift that's taken place on the planet, at least with what we're doing. You know, I don't know about the others, but I do talk to other people, and other groups are also saying yes, they're feeling a big shift. A lot of it, though, has to do with the intent. So really, since 12-12-12, people have set an intent for this change to happen. And now it's happening. And, you know, it's amazing because I'll come in, and in 10 or 15 minutes within the class, we've actually had people go into states of enlightenment. Now, that used to take sometimes 3 weekends to do. And then maybe a weekend. And now it's happening in the first 10 or 15 minutes of the class. You know, people are opening up and having these absolutely amazing experiences, which again, in some other systems of spiritual development and healing, might take 10 years. I mean, people are actually waking up right in the first 10 minutes. And these are people, though, that have never had any sort of meditation or spiritual guidance a lot of the times. In fact, the new people coming into the class, compared to maybe some of the teachers who've been doing this for 10 or 20 years like myself, they're actually going into much deeper experiences because they don't have, you might say, the old patterns of thinking, and thinking, oh, I've got to have a spiritual practice, and I've got to meditate every day, and I've got to do this for 10 or 15 years in order to have these experiences. They don't know any better. So because they don't know any better, they're opening up and having these experiences much quicker. So there's a whole acceleration that's taking place on the planet, especially for a lot of the new people that are getting involved in this.
Da, este minunat. Seichim folosește simboluri ca și în Reiki sau doar o energia este lăsată să curgă și să lucreze?
Well, that's a good question because you see, Reiki happens to be probably one of the most popular forms of energy healing. In fact, when somebody talks about it, energy, they'll just refer to the energy itself as Reiki. When I introduced Sekhem, I basically was connecting to the heart center and working with the chakras above, like the solar disk, the sun. And because people were familiar with Reiki, we did add some symbols to just kind of help them get comfortable with it. But actually, in the last 10 years, 15 years, I really don't need to use any sort of symbols. You just make that direct connection. You come in, you connect with your heart, open your heart, and it just is all automatic. In fact, what I found is the more levels, the more types of technique that you add to it, it actually detracts. Because see, the energy really knows what needs to happen, and the more layers and method and technique you put into it, it actually creates a bit of separation. So we're seeing absolutely amazing things. I mean, you know, I've been connected with the Reiki community now for almost, I would say, 25 years. And the things that we're seeing in our class, I've never seen happen in a Reiki type situation. Reiki has a very strong focus for the healing, and so people have more of a feeling where they're just getting the healings done. And what happens with the All Love is that we're taking it not just with the healing aspect, but a very strong spiritual connection as well. So it's happening on a spiritual realm, mental realm, emotional realm, and the physical realm. And the emotional healing, of course, it creates a very strong bridge and really helps open the heart. And this is something that I find isn't so much in the Reiki, within the Reiki community. When they talk about emotional healing, they'll get their symbols and they'll use their symbols. But really, you need to feel your heart. You need to go in and really feel and experience that love in a way. Then the big changes take place. And it's just direct. It's kind of like when you fall in love, do you need a manual for that? No. It comes natural. And that's how this works. It just comes natural, and you feel, and you experience it, and go with the flow of the energy.
Cursul se face pe mai multe nivele. Cam cât durează un curs complet?
Well, I started out just doing kind of evening classes, and then I expanded it to a weekend. And I found that to really have a very in-depth experience, you needed at least the 2 days. Now, what's happening recently, though, like I said, some people can even come to an evening class, even an introductory type class, and they can have one of these initiations within 15 minutes. But I have been expanding the classes now to 2 days and 4 days. And when you're in the energy field for that long, you'll have the experience maybe early on, but then other waves will come in and you'll go even into a much deeper experience with it. And now in Brazil, we've done what we call an 8-day retreat. And I have to say that's been the most powerful experience in my entire life, to do the 8 days. And many of the other people have also who've taken the class. In fact, everyone who's taken the class has remarked that this has been the most transformational experience of their entire life. And someday we do hope to do the 8-day here. I know that in June, next June, we will have one in the UK. But normally when we come to Romania, we just do the 4 days. And again, it's wonderful. After the 4 days, people can teach. They can feel comfortable about it. It's not something that you have to learn on a mental level. Once you connect with the energy, it flows. So it's really, really beautiful in that respect. It just things flow very, very well, and people have starting to have very similar results in the same way that I teach.
Ați planificat următoarea venire în România? Și dacă da, unde?
Well, generally I come in your summer, usually June, July. We don't have the exact date set, but it'll probably be, I would say maybe late June next year.
Deci, în general, cam o dată pe an.
Once a year. It is possible, though, that we might be able to put something together kind of in the halfway point. And I have done that before. I came in December once. Got delayed, lots of flight delays and fog and cold weather. So I had to rethink that this year. I said, maybe I shouldn't come in the winter. And I do live in New Zealand, so it's awfully nice for me to leave the winter there and come here to a nice, beautiful summer.
Vă mulțumesc pentru interviu și vă aștept atunci și la anul când veți veni.
Thank you. It's lovely here. Beautiful country. Thank you very much.
Mulțumim.
Bye.
Germenii de grâu aduc numeroase beneficii organismului dacă sunt incluși în dieta noastră zilnică. Enumăr câteva dintre efectele terapeutice ale germenilor de grâu. Protejează inima prin conținutul de vitamine din complexul B, în special B1, B6 și acid folic, mențin glicemia la nivel normal, scad colesterolul prin conținutul de fitosterol, protejează creierul pentru că au un conținut ridicat de acizi grași omega-3, ajută în stări de oboseală, extenuare, depresie, ajută la refacerea țesuturilor grație mineralelor fier, zinc, magneziu, calciu, mangan, siliciu. Germenii de grâu au un puternic efect antioxidant prin prezența în cantități mari a vitaminei E, care are un rol important în protejarea celulelor cerebrale și moleculelor de colesterol de atacul radicalilor liberi. Astfel scade riscul de ateroscleroză. Vitamina E mai are și rolul de a detoxifia ficatul și întări imunitatea. Germenii de grâu ajută și la apărarea organismului de boli grave, cum ar fi cancerul și artrita. Pentru acest tip de boli se recomandă germenii de grâu fermentați, care, spre deosebire de cei obișnuiți, conțin o substanță numită benzochinonă, care are un puternic efect anticancerigen și efecte remarcabile în tratarea artritei reumatoide. Germenii de grâu se pot consuma în salate sau cure cu germeni de grâu și miere de albine, care este indicată să se urmeze cel puțin o lună de zile. Fericirea este o temă care i-a preocupat cam pe toți filozofii. Ce este și cum să fim fericiți? Este și cazul autorului cărții apărută la editura Humanitas, În căutarea fericirii, Bertrand Russell, unul dintre cei mai importanți filozofi britanici ai secolului 20. Cartea este structurată în două părți. Prima parte se ocupă cu cauzele nefericirii, care sunt competiția, plictisul, oboseala, invidia, simțământul păcatului, mania persecuției, frica de opinia publică, iar partea a doua de cauzele fericirii, care sunt pofta de viață, afecțiunea, familia, munca, interesele impersonale, efortul și resemnarea. Cartea este scrisă într-un limbaj accesibil, autorul încercând astfel să ajungă la acei cititori care nu sunt neapărat familiarizați cu filozofia și termenii filozofici. Autorul ne transmite: am scris această carte animat de credința că printr-un efort bine îndrumat, mulți dintre cei ce se simt nefericiți ar putea deveni fericiți. Orice nefericire rezultă dintr-un fel de dezintegrare sau lipsă de integrare. Dezintegrare poate exista înăuntrul eului, prin lipsa de coordonare între psihicul conștient și cel inconștient. Lipsa de integrare există între eu și societate, când cele două nu sunt sudate. Omul fericit este acela care nu suferă de niciuna dintre aceste dezbinări, acela a cărui personalitate nu este nici divizată lăuntric, nici pornită împotriva lumii. Fericirea este o stare ce se poate dobândi prin lucruri simple de cele mai multe ori, iar paginile acestei cărți ne ajută să înțelegem cum anumite acțiuni ale noastre bine direcționate ne pot duce la o viață mai fericită. Vă invit să urcăm treptele și să pășim în interiorul librăriei Floarea Vieții, aflată pe o stradă celebră din Iași, strada Lăpușneanu. Floarea Vieții este o formă din geometria sacră care conține informații infinite și ne conectează la adevărurile universale de dincolo de cunoașterea din prezent. Librăria vă oferă o colecție impresionantă de cărți pentru dezvoltare personală, terapii complementare, religie, ezoterism, filozofie, spiritualitate, dar și multe cărți pentru copii. Aici puteți găsi cartea de care aveți nevoie. Prepararea și băutul ceaiului poate fi o adevărată meditație care ne permite să devenim pe deplin conștienți de gustul, mirosul și savoarea acestei licori tămăduitoare pentru trup și suflet. Săptămânal se organizează evenimente, conferințe, lansări de carte și prezentări din domeniul dezvoltării personale, spiritualității și al terapiilor complementare.
Specificul librăriei noastre este unul ezoteric spiritual. Noi ne-am propus să facem un cadru pentru suflet, în care oamenii să găsească aici cărți din domeniile spirituale, ezoteric, de dezvoltare personală, terapii alternative, divinație. Proiectul care îl avem aici organizează, sau în cadrul librăriei noastre se organizează și evenimente, cursuri și workshop-uri, lansări de carte din aceleași domenii, de dezvoltare personală, spiritualitate, divinație. Servim ceaiuri într-un cadru intim, călduros, cu oameni care își propun să aducă voie bună, unde omul poate ieși din problemele cotidiane și intra într-un spațiu în care se poate conecta la el însuși.
Aici se încheie ediția de astăzi. L-ați cunoscut pe Patrick Sekhem Zeigler. V-am adus informații utile despre germeni de grâu și cât de benefici sunt pentru sănătate. Cartea săptămânii a fost În căutarea fericirii, scrisă de filozoful britanic Bertrand Russell. Noi ne întâlnim și săptămâna viitoare, sâmbătă, la Antena 1 Iași, la o nouă ediție a Întâlnirii în punctul 0. Până data viitoare vă doresc gânduri senine.